Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Packer Universe podcast. This is the first takeaway with Tay and Ren. Ren will tell you in a minute, but he just got back from Lambeau Field, where the Green Bay Packers beat up on the Arizona Cardinals 34-13. Ren, this was a very, very fun game. And I can say that especially because I was at home on my couch, not in the rain and the drizzle. But you could tell me about that in a minute. But this game was fun. Yeah, there was a couple ups and downs, a couple moments where you're like, well, if they do score, the Cardinals, that is, if the Cardinals do score, this could get interesting very quick. But the Packers eventually just never let them back in the game. There was a bunch of turnovers, which made it fun. A couple, big plays. Jordan Love had a day, a couple standouts on defense. So just in general, this was a great game for the Packers, a great morale, confidence booster moving forward in the season. We thought they would handle the Cardinals as they should have. But they did that today. And it was a treat, 34-13. Ren, you were there, though, so give me your first takeaway on this game.
Well, it was a little watery, put it that way. Had a wet backside for basically the entirety of the game. It rained pretty heavily until about 10 minutes to 1. We were pretty well soaked. I mean, you get to the third quarter, sun pops out for a little bit, so real nice. Kind of feels like you're getting a little bit of the sun air dryer going on that thing. But listen, first half was fantastic outside of the last 2 minutes. The last 2 minutes made you kind of gulp in your throat, kind of them letting it back in. Where we rewind to the first drive, obviously not the first drive, second drive.
3 and out.
Packers went 3 and out. Cardinals go 3 and out. Packers obviously ultimately score on the next drive with the Jay Reed. I think it was like a back shoulder throw. Nice play for 7. The second drive is where it kind of wakes up for me, and I think a lot of Packer fans. Really huge third down conversion by one Romeo Doubs. And later in that drive, you have the Romeo touchdown where Jordan's going through read progressions, and he just kind of jumps into the end zone, stretches out, touchdown, has a little moment with Christian Watson there in the end zone. Was hoping maybe for a Lambeau leap just to get the fans going, but Romeo was huge on the day, Tay. But that last 2 minutes it made you kind of go, is this thing gonna be not what we want it to be? I know my 12, almost 13-year-old was not feeling the vibes. He wanted a blowout. He did not appreciate it at all. And then the third quarter starts, Tay, and we're in line getting a couple glizzies. Those are hot dogs for the young kids that they are today. That's what they call them nowadays. So we got a couple of glizzies, Tay. And we're watching the third quarter start, and you're like, man, is Trey McBride just going to eat this team alive in the third quarter? Because it certainly felt that way on the first drive coming out of the half. And that's why the 2-minute thing was so bad. They let them back into this game, and you knew they're getting the ball back. That was a concern. 3 turnovers on the day. They have 5 of their 6 games today. They've had 3 turnovers. Only 1 last week that they had 2. So massive. Unfortunately, Professor X gets shut out today. Can't go 6 in a row for the Packers. But he'll get back. I'm not real concerned. You love the young play of Evan Williams back there with Xavier. You love the bull back there too, Javon Bullard, Coop. These young guys, Tay, you think about McKinney being brought in as a free agent, and then Bull, Coop, and Williams. They're going to be together 4 years, Tay, and it's pretty damn exciting to know that. The Packers ultimately get this thing kind of back under control. I think it's late third quarter. Down on my side, that side, Packers side, but this is towards the north end zone. And I'm just watching intently, and Jordan Love sees the blitz coming. He just sees it. He like basically yells at her, motions Romeo over. He's like, move, 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 move. Romeo comes shooting out left to right, and bam, play snaps out of the shotgun. Here they go. Blitz is coming. He just lost his thing, and it is his jump ball. And tell you what, Romeo Doubs makes that his ball, touchdown. I think at that point, game back in the Packers fashion, the rest of the way was pretty easy after that. But ultimately, this was probably the most complete game we've seen the Packers play. No sacks. I know you can still pick on the Van Nesses, the Garys of the world, the whole defensive
D-line
end.
then, yeah.
D-line, obviously Carl Brooks getting a little more play time. Obviously, huge strip, and sack, not sack, but strip recovery, Strack, whatever it is. So that was a huge play by him. Obviously, 3 fumbles on the day. Evan Williams, the running back, starts getting taken down in the fourth quarter. He comes with a punch out of the football.
Flying fist.
That's the flying fist. That's great stuff. And he talked about it after the game and listened to it on the way home. And he's like, hey, listen, when you're kind of third to the party, you don't have to go smash a guy. You get that opportunity to just say, hey, the ball's maybe moving around, and just smash it if you can. And I was fortunate enough to be the last man arriving at the party and make a good play and obviously complimenting his teammates. But it was a great overall win, Tay. You look at the first half, 7 first downs for the Cardinals, 14 for the Packers. You look at time of possession was 2-1 Packers. Yards were 2-1 Packers. They essentially dominated this game, but unfortunately let the Cardinals back in to have a little breathing life into the second half. And ultimately, they don't do a classic Packers and make us, bite our fingernails to the beds in the second half. And my kid doesn't start looking at me more and more angry as this thing progresses. He's got that tendency to want to see a win, and not just a kind of win, but make him feel good himself. So it was fun to be there. Listen, a game like that, Tay, if you're winning and it's cold and wet like that in the low 50s, and people said there was going to be wind. There wasn't wind until the end of the game. There was no wind. It was dead quiet. But when you're winning and it's raining like that, it feels a lot warmer. I'll tell you that. As opposed to if you're losing and it's raining on you like that and you're getting wet. Like I said, I had a wet behind, even though I did have some rain gear on. It would have been a lot more uncomfortable. But when you get a quality win like that against quality opponent in your conference, you just have to feel good about it. Great Packer win, probably their best again through 6 games of the season.
You're right about that, Ren. That's I second that. You had great outings by the wide receivers. Your top 3 wide receivers today scored touchdowns and had great games. Watson was a huge contributor today. Reed gets another one. Romeo Doubs gets 2. I mean, that's great. He's coming off that 1-game suspension. He played a great game, had some crucial catches. Of course, 2 touchdowns were amazing. That guy's got talent, and whatever happened.
Much talent,
like let's put that in the past if we can. Let's hope that stuff doesn't happen again in the future. But he bounced back. Hopefully everything's good with this team and him. But yeah, that was amazing. All 3 of those guys produced today. Jordan Love had a day. He had that 1 interception, but really wasn't his fault. Bo Melton fell down. And what can you do? Again, asterisk on those type of interceptions. It shouldn't be marked against the quarterback, but it is what it is. And so yeah, the outstanding playmakers on the defense today. I love seeing, that one where Evan Williams punches the ball out. Jair Alexander picks it up. He wants everyone to celebrate down in the end zone. Evan's going back to the sideline. But anyway, Jair has his little party celebration with the defense, goes back to the bench and is like, hey man, we were doing this. Like, we wanted you to come. But it's great to see Jair especially get it, include the young guys, like celebrate with the young guys, like they're a unit, they're having fun together, celebrating these play victories that are just awesome to see. I love the attack defense that we're seeing now. Turnovers, amazing. This is fun. Finally, just have to get that pass rushing. Although Kyler Murray didn't run a whole lot as much as he could have. We contained him. He didn't do very well. That offense was kind of terrible. I mean, yeah, we saw the tight end kind of rip it up in the third quarter, but really, if you go back and look at the stats, they didn't do very well overall. So this was, definitely in the Packers' capabilities to put away, and they finally did, right? They finally did. Narv Dog, Ren, he misses one, makes another one, but we're back in this again,
I
wondering,
think Narv
curious.
had 3 opportunities. He made 2 of them. One late.
He's two or three.
Missed the middle one. Made the first one. I think the middle one he misses is like 36 today, I want to say. And apparently he's got an issue off the left hash. I know I heard people talking about it after the fact, and Narv dog, man. I hold my breath every time, Day, and I did on the last one too. I'm like, just make it. It might be for your season here in Green Bay, but
what
he
I was
might
yelling
live
at,
to have another week.
I was yelling, "Hey man, don't worry. It's 30, 31 to 30. If you miss this or you make it, it's not going to affect the game." I think he heard me, and he just was like, "Okay, cool, man. I'm going to put this one in." But something happened with Josh Myers too late in the game. He went out, and then they had to do some musical chairs on the offensive line. Jenkins came in at center. They brought in Morgan finally. We got to see him for a few plays. So that was awesome. Jordan Morgan.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, do you remember him? He was like a high draft.
He was a first round pick. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yep.
So anyway, he had some time. This Brooks guy we just picked up signed off the practice squad of, I forgot what team. Sorry, Brooks, but he's third running back. He came in. Emmanuel Wilson had a great game. Josh Jacobs had a great game. He was a little scary in the first quarter. He went to the bench with an arm injury, but he got put back out there pretty quick, so that wasn't a problem. But just all around. I mean, there were a couple things you can nitpick here. Oh, one thing I wanted to point out was the Cardinals come into the game with the fewest penalties against a team in the NFL, and they get hit hard. They were making mistakes
12
left
or 13
and right
for 100 today.
It was brutal though. These were penalties that stopped or that kept drives going, took away turnovers. It was bad. Like you have to look at that if you're a Cardinals fan and say, this was a reason why we lost this game. I mean, seriously, like it ruined drives. It kept drives going for the Packers, took away points, basically, turnovers and all that stuff. It was bad for them. But finally, it felt like karma coming back, kind of like finally we're not getting these.
Because we've been, and the Packers are one of the most, I think they're second most penalized team in the NFL prior to this game. So it's been pretty tough. A couple anecdotes on my end. I love that you point that out. This is a team, the Cardinals today, that had that 2-minute piece not happen at the end of the first half. They didn't want to be out there today. They did not like playing in the rain. They wanted no part of being in Green Bay at 52 degrees with a driving rain. They just were like, let's just go home. That's the way it seemed. It really did. Had they not had that 2 minutes, I don't know what the second half would have looked like. This thing could have been a 45-7 burger, like nothing. And you do bring up that one play, and that is the offsetting penalties on the punt. And Jay Reed, like immediately they pull them and they pop, and they're lucky. They're fortunate that happened because that could have really, really jolted the Cardinals with that field position. I was like, oh my God, they just got saved. And then Keyshawn goes out and he just hits it. And then one play later, you've got that amazing throw and catch, love to Watson for the big one. And he was wide open, man. It was fun to watch. But just a couple anecdotes there that we didn't get to address up front. But thanks for reminding me.
Hopefully Nixon will have that job. I mean, I love Jay Reed in the back in motion on offensive plays. I mean, end arounds, all that stuff, trick plays, everything. Like bring it on. Jaden Reed's the guy. Catching punts. I don't think he should be. Let go.
Key loves doing it. And my only complaint about Keyshawn Nixon was the one he takes out of the end zone. The Packers have it. This is leading up to the Melton slip in the interception, but he takes it out of the end zone. They end up at like the 22, and they have 2 timeouts. They're in the 2-minute now, and I'm just like, dude, just don't run that one out. Just go to the 30. You're going to be at a minute 56. Don't put yourself up against the sticks when you got 2 timeouts going into half when they're getting the ball back. Didn't like it as a look. I don't like to complain about Keyshawn Nixon. I think he's had a pretty good year, and as a special teamer, he's great. But that was the one time I was like, dude, this is not the time to do it. Just let your offense get in the 2-minute. Give them as much field position as you can. You can't do that stuff in that position, personally.
Yep. Totally.
Again, there's not much to pick apart about this game today. It was a great game. And I don't want to pick on Keyshawn, but he shouldn't be doing that there personally.
Well, I'm glad you got to go. I'm glad you got to go with your son. I'm sure that was amazing experience, Ren. And for all the people in the stands, I'm sure it was an amazing game, especially with the game in hand most of the time. That was a good feeling to have. But yeah, you beat traffic. You came back. We're recording this. I think so. The Packers are what? Still the bottom of the division.
This is one hell of a division, Tay.
They're at 4-2. Detroit's playing right now, and in the other room here, and they're going to be 4-1.
They're killing Dallas.
They're going to be, so we're at the bottom of the division at 4-2. Can you believe that? That's nuts. That is crazy. So we all these wins matter, and they're very, very important.
Big time. Because I don't think any division will ever get 4 out of it, but it's just one of those things, man. I mean, yeah, you just gotta stack wins, and it really comes down to playing good football down the stretch. But these wins in October are going to be huge. You're playing some opponents they should beat. I mean, next week's going to be really tough against the Texans, but you have Jacksonville in the upcoming few weeks, and some other teams that you should beat. You gotta win those games so you can put a stretch together later in the season. That's going to be wholly important to this team, even if clearly they don't win the division the way the Vikings are playing, the way the Lions are playing. I mean, I know the Vikings, you look at power rankings, they're number 1 in the NFL in many of them. I still think the Lions at this point are class of the NFC North, and it's theirs to win, and we'll see what happens. But this Packer team can certainly vie for that title, and we'll see what happens, over the next so many weeks of the season. We know, hey, we just played week 6 day. Early December is not far away.
Well, thanks for joining me. Thanks for joining me, Ren. Appreciate it. Here's cheers to the Pack. Go Pack, go. We love the win. Thanks for watching the Pup List. First takeaway, go head over to our socials, follow that. You can email us at info@packeruniverse.com. Head over to our website, packeruniverse.com. And of course, YouTube. We're on YouTube. Got this going up shortly. So thank you for all your support out there. Ren, thanks for joining me again. We will see you on the normal podcast this midweek.
Until next time, Tay, on the Pup List.